Okay, so today I'd like to answer a philosophical question. And maybe I'm not so much answering it, but posing the question to you all so that we can all learn something together. And the question is, are worship teams cover bands? Think about it. We'll look at this in a second. Okay, so obviously I'm not super serious about this, but I do want to ask the question. I think it'd be fun to see what you all think about it. But I'd like to talk about the differences between a worship team and a cover band, or maybe some of the similarities thereabouts too. The thing that's got me thinking about this is this meme right here. I'll pull it up. It says worship musicians gearing up to play 3 songs, and obviously it has the biggest pedal board you've ever seen that requires 2 grown men to carry it in. Obviously that's, you know, a joke, but there's an element of truth in it. And when you see most worship lead guitarists, or the guys that are guitar one, those guys normally have a pretty intense pedal rig. If they're not also bringing in their own Kemper or their own head and cab and ISO cab, whatever it is, you walk in with 2 or 3 guitars because every song needs its own guitar or something like that. The thing of it is, most of the time, worship guitar players have like one pedal that is for one song and gets this one sound that you really don't use on anything else. I've got a couple of pedals on my board that I seriously, like, I have to have it for like a couple songs maybe, but other than that, they don't get that much use. You know, probably 25% of my board is just for those very rarest of occasions, but you gotta nail that sound, right? The reason I bring this up is because that is sort of similar to most cover bands. If you look at a cover band, especially if it's a cover band like a 3-piece, there's this amazing 3-piece cover band in Kansas City where I grew up called the Stolen Winnebagos. I don't know if they're still playing or not, but they were awesome. They play everything from like Metallica, Rage Against the Machine, Beatles tunes, Muse, Sublime, all kinds of stuff. The stuff that people in bars want to listen to, I guess. The problem is, in order to pull off all of those sounds, you need quite a bit of gear in front of you to get all of those sounds. That kind of sounds like the position that most worship guitarists are in. You need a bunch of gear to pull off all of these sounds because you've got this one elevation song that has a very particular type of chorus. Maybe you've got like a mod pedal that's got individual settings like the Mobius or the MD500 or something like that, and you just use that one sound for that one song, but you gotta have it, right? Or even worse, if you get like a POG, which, you know, you're not gonna use a ton, but you might really need it for that one sound. It's just got me thinking. I would love to hear your thoughts on what you think about cover bands versus worship teams. And the reason I say worship teams is because if I say worship band, then you think Young and Free or Hillsong United is a worship band, but they're playing original tunes. A cover band plays everybody else's songs. Worship teams, by and large, play every other house of worship's songs, you know, the stuff from Bethel and Hillsong and Young and Free and Elevation and all of them. And before we go really crazy with this, I belong to a worship team. I play music from other houses of worship, and I love them. And if anything, I'm poking fun at myself just as much as I am anybody else. Now let me take this one step further. I've heard of, I've not been a part of any churches like this, but I know of churches even in my area that are really into one specific church and model their church like that. They're not actually connected to, so it's not like, you know, Hillsong Phoenix or something like that, though Hillsong Phoenix is technically playing all Hillsong stuff to my knowledge, and all of the Hillsong stuff that they're playing is coming from Australia. So in that case, are they considered a tribute band because they're only playing one house of worship, you know, the music from one house of worship. Furthermore, I know of another church not that far from me that only plays elevation tunes. If they only play elevation tunes and their worship leader kind of dresses like Chris Brown from Elevation, are they a tribute band? Maybe. I don't know. But I'd be really curious what you guys think. Maybe I'm way off base on this. I would love to hear you react to this. Tell me what differentiates a worship team from a cover band, and maybe point out some other similarities. Might be kind of fun.